Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys. Currently, as you can see, 12 points clear in first place in League Two, the fourth tier of English football. Today we're taking on Bristol Rovers, who've been roving all about Bristol. And we're going to win. We're going to win this game. We're going to find a way. Although we are starting the exact same team as we started in our last game, which we drew a disappointing 0-0 draw from the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys. But we're resting up because we got two big games coming up. The first is our next round of the FA Cup. We're now in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. That's a huge, to make it to this round as a League Two squad is it's just a huge deal. By the way, in a stunning turn of events, raining in England, poor pitch quality, etc. Plus, we're wearing our AFC Wimbledon backup yellow. Anyway, it is... Yeah, so that's one game, and then the other game is that we are going to be in the Johnstone's Paint Trophy Final. That's a competition among League One and League Two clubs, like the clubs that are in the Football League, but not in the top two tiers of or whatever. However, the most interesting thing about it is guess who we're playing in the final. Guess. I want you to actually guess out loud. Guess. Did you guess? Did you guess Swindon Town? Because that is the correct answer. We are playing Swindon Town, the team that I once managed in that League Cup final. In that. Oh, God, the finishing quality. Oh, sweet holy Jesus. Okay. Today's topic comes from Matt. Another Project for Awesome topic. It's a really good one, though. He says, advice on remaining interesting after college. That's a really deep question. So those of you who've graduated from college will know this experience. If you haven't, you'll know this experience in sometime in the future. You graduate from college, and instead of being surrounded by 5,000 of your fellow students who are full-time engaged in learning and binge drinking, you are suddenly in a city with or wherever, or a town or wherever, and you're working at a job, and the people who are working at a job maybe trying to be intellectually engaged with the world isn't their number one priority because they got a mortgage and kids and stresses and, they've got a life to lead and, the stuff that they want from their modes of entertainment maybe isn't the stuff that you're used to talking about with your friends. Maybe it's, they just want to be distracted by The Mentalist or whatever. I say that, by the way, as a huge fan of The Mentalist. Get it. Oh, you needed a better pass. Good pass. Maybe from the top of the box? No. Maybe you. Oh, God. Yeah, you could just see the work rate, but it's not there right now. It's just not there. Anyway, we are, it is difficult. It's a difficult, really difficult time of life, the first few years out of college, or if you don't go to college, the first few years in the quote-unquote real world, because, you're just grappling with all kinds of stuff that you never really had to before, and you don't necessarily feel qualified to do this proper grown-up stuff, and then there's the fact that, you're thinking about the fact that you're going to be doing this proper grown-up stuff for the rest of your life, and, how horrible that seems and how unmanageable, and you think, how am I ever going to get through this forever? I can't believe that this is life now, and it just seems very difficult. Well, first off, I can assure you that like everything, it gets much easier. It gets more comfortable, it gets easier, it gets less overwhelming and frightening the more you do it. It's just that for the first time there's no one telling you that at freshman orientation. There is no freshman orientation to the real world, unfortunately. But I think Matt's primary question was about, kind of advice for how to remain interesting, how to continue to have an interesting life. I guess so. The first thing that I would say is do interesting things even when it makes you uncomfortable or even when it isn't easy. One example of this. So there's this writer Sarah and I really like, Philip Gorovich. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He wrote, "We wish to inform you that tomorrow we will be killed with our families." The book about the Rwandan genocide that is just absolutely, anyway, you have to read it. But it's a great book. Very difficult book, but worth it. Not, you know, like it, you're happy you read it, if you know what I mean. So anyway, he was speaking at a conference about Susan Sontag's book, this book Susan Sontag wrote regarding the suffering of others, and Sarah was like, "We should go to this thing," and I was like, "Oh no, like it's gonna be stressful, and like I don't know where it is, and I don't know what the auditorium looks like, and I don't know where do you get seats, and you know all that stuff that you tell yourself to keep yourself from doing things that will be interesting." But like because I had someone in my life in the form of Sarah who could say like, "No, we're gonna do it. Trust me, it's gonna be worth it." It really was, and now like 13 years on in my life, I think about that all the time. I think about the things that, oh, Kennedy, your terrible haircut distracted you. I think about all of the things that I learned that day, and the fact that I would never have learned them if I hadn't gone to the trouble to go to this weird little like one-day conference about a book that at the time I had not read, but turns out to be very, very good. I don't know if it's called Regarding the Pain of Others or Regarding the Suffering of Others, but anyway, it is great. It was a huge influence to me when I was writing The Fault in Our Stars. Sontag generally, big influence on the way I think about the world around me. She's so freaking smart, just like ridiculously, not perfect or anything, but ridiculously smart, thoughtful, careful thinker. All that stuff that people aren't these days. And she's someone we could really use to help us to understand the internet a little bit better than I think we do. Anyway, yeah, so like get out of your comfort zone and go do those things even when they're hard. First off, you'll meet people. You'll meet people who are interesting because that kind of stuff, oh, that's a beautiful ginger, but I don't hire gingers anymore. That kind of stuff, tends to attract interesting people, people who are intellectually engaged and curious and all that stuff. And then, I would also say, like, be patient with yourself. You are going to make friends, but it takes a while. Like, it took a while in school, it took a while in college, and it kind of takes even longer, I have to say, in adulthood because, because you are, just, like, living a different kind of life. But one of the main ways that I like try to like grapple with adulthood is to make these million small moments in your life as pleasant as they can be, not just for you but for the people that you're with, whether it's people you know or people you've just been kind of like thrown into the world with. So like one of the things that I think is frustrating about adulthood is that there is an endless list of tasks. And like many of these tasks are mundane and annoying. Like today I had to go to the doctor, and before I went to the doctor I had to like register with the registration nurse, which is a ridiculous notion because I'm just going to the doctor. I'm not, receiving a surgery or something. And yet, like, here this registration nurse and I both had an opportunity to be, in the same place at the same time. And it turned out that like she was, oh, yeah, it has to be. Come on, let's get a goal for the love of God! Penalty? Penalty? I agree. I don't know who fouled me, but I 100% agree with you, referee. Great call. Where was this foul? Where? Here? Oh, yes! I was fouled! I was unjustly brought down! I don't feel so good about strutting. Oh, he's injured. He did get kicked in the face a little bit, but you would think that he wouldn't be injured. All right, let's think about who we want to take this. Let's think for a second about who's the right guy for this job. Player roles. Any ideas? Shout them out now. I can hear them from the past. All right. Why did we pick Strutton? Is he genuinely the best at this? I mean, I like scoring with Ya Bamba. Warner's never scored a goal for us, but he's probably pretty bad at penalties. Lizzie Bennett. Kennedy's hair is too ugly for him to score. Why don't we give it to St. Luce, the patron saint of lost crosses? He's the one who got injured for it. I think we should have him line up. See if he can take it. All right, St. Luce. Big money, no whammies. That's not my best penalty. But it's good enough! Oh, he's not injured right now. Oh, he scores when he wants. He scores when he wants. K. St. Luce. He scores when he wants. Now he's going to have to be taken off for injury. So that's unfortunate. But he had a nice moment. Oh, it's almost like the people from FIFA. It never occurred to them that I would try to score with an injured player. Okay, well, I'm sorry that the patron saint of Las Grasas has been injured, but I'm sure that we're going to be okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring on Hell's Bells there. Then we're going to bring on John Green and Green Eggs and Sheringham for the last few minutes, and everything will be golden. All right, let's resume the match. We make these substitutions. I know it's frustrating, St. Louis, but you did just score. So that's something. Frankenstein's given him some comfort. Oh, did you see his mustache? I never knew that he had a mustache. St. Louis is going to be in our lineup more often starting today, or at least as soon as he recovers. So, but about like advice about how to continue to have an interesting life. Another thing that I would say is like fight hard to hold on to reading. And like hold on to like watching interesting movies and not just watching Iron Man 3, although certainly I understand and myself feel the need to watch Iron Man 3 to try to like protect myself against the crushing monotony of adult life. I'm making it sound really bad, but I want to make it clear that adulthood is great. But anyway, yeah, I understand that, and that's cool. But there's also room for there also needs to be room in your life for great books and for art museums and for all those for art movies, like proper good movies that make you think about the world around you and help you to empathize better with people and all that stuff is going to add tremendous value to your life. So I would encourage you to. Oh, it has to be. It has to be. Oh, John Green was just standing there at the back post, like I can do it. Oh, it's Klukas. Klukas doesn't get to play anymore. Sorry, Klukas. But I want to emphasize that even though it's difficult at first, like a lot of things that you do in life, being a grown-up is really, really good. There is a lot to recommend it, and I know that I'm kind of coming at it from a privileged worldview of someone who has like a pretty great adulthood, but it's not just me who feels this way. I think a lot of people do. Initially, it's very difficult to figure out like, oh, like how am I going to do all of these things that I'm supposed to be able to already know how to do? But then you do figure out how to do them, and there's a lot to be, there's a lot to be said for that growing competence that accompanies adulthood, that growing sense of kind of knowing something about how to navigate the world around you. And that may not meet some definitions of having an interesting life, but I think it allows you to have an interesting life because it allows you to feel some security around you instead of this like that constant drumbeat of like worry that, at least for me, accompanied my early 20s. It has to be. Come on! Frankenstein! I mean, you couldn't. Where was your foot, man? Where was your foot? Non-ironic question. Hell's Bells. It's frustrating. They had a good keeper, though. Full credit to them. And we scored our goal. The patron saint of Lost Crosses got us one, so that's all that matters. But I would have really liked to have two. But today just doesn't seem like it's going to be the day for 2 goals from the old AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys. Oh, maybe. Hell's Bells with the cross in. Ball! Oh, great save. Great save. I was already singing. Okay, here we go. Nope. It's frustrating. Frustrating day at the office. But yeah, with time will come kind of the social, the safety, the net. The net that makes life manageable, and that allows you to do, the things that you find a lot of fulfillment in. That's going to take time, but it will happen. It'll happen with long-term friendships. It'll happen with partners and with children and families. It will happen, I promise. So be patient and, just try to be like aware and alive to the amazing world while we're here. Speaking of the amazing world, we won the game. We are victorious. Congratulations to the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys, even Kennedy and his terrible haircut. I love to see them hug. Nothing brings me more joy. Green Eggs and Sheringham there with P. Sweeney, who's inexplicably wearing that. Oh, did Ball John Green just do a little dance? There's Warner Chilcott thanking the audience, and there's a big hug. Is that me? I guess that's a big hug from me. Oh, no, it's you. Well, I guess I was a little mad at Hell's Pels. I am a little mad at him, to be fair. Anyway, thanks for watching. Best wishes.